Hi, I'm Steve Maskery from workshopessentials.com and British Woodworking magazine. This is my planer, unless you're across the pond, in which case it's my jointer. This is my thicknesser, but again, if you're American, then this is a planer. The terminology is confusing, but whatever you call it, I bet you, like me, hate snipe. Snipe is when the end of the cut makes the wood thinner than it should be. And I've set up my machine so that when I plane this piece of wood, or joint it if you're in America, I'm going to get snipe at the last few inches. I know that's the case because I've set it up wrong deliberately. Now, I think you probably saw and heard it go bang at the end, and in fact there was a really big step for this last inch or so on this board. And you can see that the end section is just got a step in it there. See that wobble? And if I just highlight it, the ridge is there, look. That snipe happened because my outfeed table was way too low, meaning that the knives are much higher than they should be. And the result is that as I push off the infeed table, over the knives and onto the outfeed table, it falls onto the outfeed table. And the last bit goes with a bang when it's no longer supported by the infeed table. And that's what gives me that snipe at the end of the cut. The solution is to ensure that my knives are the right projection relative to the table. Now I can show you that the blades are too high by doing a drag test. If we put a little mark there and I rotate the blade by hand, notice that it's unplugged, and that has moved the block about 5/8 of an inch, 16 millimeters or so, and that is way too much. That should be no more than about 4 or 5 millimeters. So I'm going to raise the outfeed table, bring it closer up, which will effectively get the knives the right height relative to the outfeed table. And now if we do a drag test, that's much more like it. And that surface is straight off the machine, without a hint of snipe, not even to the touch, let alone that you can see. It's perfect. Now let's see what happens when I try thicknessing this short board. Now that is very good. There is no snipe on there at all. It's just what I want. But look what happens when I try to put a much longer workpiece through. The last couple of inches have got snipe. No snipe on the short piece, snipe on the long piece. What's going on? Snipe on a thicknesser is not due to poor machine setup, it's due to poor technique. On a thicknesser there are two rollers, one either side of the cutter head. There's an in-feed roller and an out-feed roller, and they are spring loaded, and that's the crucial thing to remember. They can move. So when my workpiece is under both rollers are pushing down onto the table. And as it comes out, they're both pushing down until this point, when only one is pushing down. The in-feed roller is no longer in contact. Well, on a short board, that's no problem. That roller can push down and the board stays flat. And so when it comes out at the end, it's nice and smooth. But with a much longer workpiece, once that roller is no longer pressing down, all the weight over here is making it tip like that, especially if the centre of gravity is over the edge of my table. And so this roller, being spring loaded, is pushed upwards due to the weight, and the workpiece is pushed into the cutter head. And so the last few inches are damaged. So the answer is simple, just keep the weight supported. So with accurate setup and good technique, snipe is history. For more great workshop advice, get British Woodworking magazine or visit www.workshopessentials.com. For British Woodworking magazine and Workshop Essentials, I'm Steve Maskery. Enjoy your workshop.